Today I'm at 4-Star Greenhouses. It's September, and we were here earlier this summer in July, and it was looking gorgeous. We're heading down to Ohio for a trade show, and I thought, you know what, let's stop by again and see how these plants have done through the extreme heat that we had here in Michigan this summer. Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings, and today I'm going to take you for a walk through these gorgeous trial gardens at 4-Star Greenhouse. This is the home of the Proven Winner Annuals. This is the signature display garden here at 4-Star, and there is so many great varieties that we're going to be taking you through and showing you today. We're going to be seeing some of the new plant varieties for 2026. We're going to show you some great basket combinations and also some fantastic landscape plantings. So let's go ahead and take a walk through the gardens. It's always amazing to see how the baskets have held out throughout the heat of the summer, and these did fantastic this year. They're all on drip irrigation, so they are getting dripped every day. I don't know if they have fertilizer hooked into their dripper system or not, so that is a question I can't answer. But what I can say is they are getting watered every day and are looking fantastic. So this is kind of a fun combination. It's pretty much just for foliage. It's got the diamond frost in there along with the coleus chocolate drop. And then the new sweet potato vine for 2026, the Shadow Storm. That's a gorgeous kind of tone on tone, the greens and the deeper, darker blacks. Just look at that huge ball of beauty. The name tags are on the back side of this walkway, so I'm going to be kind of telling you the names of these plants from my memory. This beautiful basket has the Super Bells, the double, I think that's the chiffon yellow or light yellow, along with the new Supertunia Mini Vista Pink Cloud. Pink Cloud is a new variety for 2026. They also have that planted in there with some lobelia, which I'm surprised actually has held out this well in the heat of the summer. But that really is quite a beautiful combination of color. This is the one that really struck me as we drove in. Of course, it's because it's got jazzberry in it. And you know how I just love the Supertunia jazzberry. So this is a combination of Supertunia jazzberry and Supertunia cool jazz. So you can see they are playing very well together. You're seeing equal colors of both in these baskets. So what this goes to show me is that as far as the vigor of the two plants, they both are very equal in their vigor. And a fun fact is Cool Jazz is a sport of Supertunia Vista Jazzberry. It was found in a block, a little bit lighter color. So they pulled it out, propagated it, stayed true to color, and there you go. That's how new plant varieties are formed. Tropical Sunrise Super Bells, that's a great splash of color. I would not have thought to use Bidens in a hanging basket, but it's actually looking pretty good. It looks like it's got the Super Bells, Strawberry Punch. I think that is what this one is. Good mix of color. Here's some verbena. This is a peachy keen verbena with a saffron finch. Looking a little tired. A lot of times I feel like verbena do look tired this time of year. And again, it's September. Like, these plants really don't owe us another day of color. It's just we've had such a great fall this year that these plants are just continuing to really hold on and do very well. Here's another planter that's got the Bidens in it, along with the Supertunia Latte. Looks like there's also a little bit of that Dreamsicle in there poking through. But I'm surprised at how vigorous the Biden is in this container. Saffron Finch Supertunia, along with the Super Bells, Tropical Sunrise, I think. That looks really nice. More sweet potato vine that are going absolutely crazy, climbing up the structure and hanging on. Bunch of Super Bells in here, Super Bells Yellow, Super Bells Dreamsicle, and it looks like there's also some Phlox. You can see that it's looking a little bit tired though. James Britannia, Super Bells, and then Lantana up there at the top. It's kind of a interesting combination, a lot of bright color. The mounding habit of that Lantana is really kind of giving that plant that upright thriller look, and then we got the spiller filler going on with the James Britannia and the Super Bells. So here we have the Supertunia Cool Jazz mixed in with the Verbena Pink Cashmere. And looking at them in these baskets, it goes to show that they are also very similar in vigor and play well together. One's not really overtaking the other. They're just creating a great mix of color. Boy, oh boy, I can tell what Superbells they really love this year. Superbell's Coral Sun. This has got the basket Tangelo lantana, the Coral Sun, and then also it has some of that sun glow. Look at that. This is a great heat tolerant, drought tolerant basket with those warm sunset shades to it. Beautiful. Supertunia Mini Vista Plum Vein, planted with Lobularia Snow Princess. That white on purple is a beautiful contrast of color, and also creates a very large, gorgeous ball of color. Supertunia Royal Velvet, along with Super Bina Storm Cloud. There's got to be another one in there too, but whatever it was, these two definitely have taken over this gorgeous basket combination. Just look at that. It almost reminds you of Disney World with all this gorgeous color. I feel like such a kid in a candy store when I'm walking through the gardens here at 4-Star. There is just so much color in every direction that I look. And man, this year they did a great job with creating bright splashes of color. So let's just take a look at some of the things, some of the designs that they put together here. Right in front of me, this is such a cool look. In the center there, they have the Pennisetum grass, which is kind of blowing nicely in the breeze. And they have that surrounded by the Suncredible sunflowers. And the nice thing with the Suncredible sunflowers is they don't need to be deadheaded. They're self-cleaning and they just continue to bloom all summer long. Then for more of a lower growing ground cover, they have the heliotrope, the Aromagica purple. Look at that. That is gorgeous and it smells so good. One thing we found at the Northern Michigan garden is we haven't had to worry about the deer on our heliotrope. So I'm hoping that that is the case and that's something we'll be able to use again next year and not have to worry about, the deer and the deer pressure. They also have the Supertunia Mini Vista Plum Vein, and that's just looking so good. I love the purple and the yellow together. And up front here, there's a gorgeous Super Bean. I love the purple and the white together, and it's kind of just nicely trailing here over the edge in this garden. As we move, we transition a little bit to the Tierra Pink, planted with the Storm, I think it's Storm Cloud, Super Bina. Kind of a neat look. And then as we transition, this is more of a drought tolerant look in this garden. They're using the grass, which is the blue Mohawk Juncus grass in the center, which is giving just little spikes of fun, little spikes of interest. We've got the Angelonia Perfectly Pink, which is used as a thriller. And then I think this is the Lantana Golden Gate, or it's the Lemonade. I think it's Golden Gate though. It has more of a golden color to it. And then there's also some of the pink Royal Cosmo Lantana in here. And this is just kind of it's not quite as vibrant as some of the other areas, but it's just a very cool look using the yellows and the pinks together. And then even up front here, this purple, that's gorgeous too. So just kind of a fun, different look for mass color. The motto "Go big or go home" definitely applies here to these giant pillars of petunias. So they have planted in here the Supertunia Vista Bubblegum, Supertunia Mini Vista White, and the Supertunia Jazzberry. So this is kind of that similar look that we have going on at our greenhouse as well, with these gorgeous pillars of blooms. These two are on drip irrigation, so they're continually getting watered every day. And it's so pretty to watch these pillars as they blow in the breeze. This garden here is featuring a little bit more of some of your upright thrillers. We've got the Senorita Rosalita Cleome in here. Just look at that gorgeous blow in the breeze annual. Tucked in front of it is the Rockin' Deep Purple Salvia, which is a great plant if you're looking to attract the hummingbirds into the garden. And then they have some of the Hoopla Vivid orchid petunias. The silver vine is really gorgeous on how it's just creeping over this edging of the garden and creates a really cool look. Silver is a great color that just goes anywhere in the garden because obviously it's like a white. It just matches anything and everything that you put with it. I had to head over to this spot in the garden because earlier this summer, this was my absolute favorite space, and I wanted to see how it did as the season went along. So let's take a look here. It's definitely filled it in a lot and has a different look than what it looked like earlier this season, but it's so much color. So we have the Kufi Vermillionaire, which is great for hummingbirds, paired with the Lantana. There's two different Lantanas in here. There's a yellow and then the pink, which is Royal Cosmo, and I think that's either the Golden Gate or the Lemonade, and those are just doing good. There's also some petunias that are they've kind of gotten taken over by this Lantana, although we are still seeing a little bit of that tier of purple here edging this bed, along with some of that sedum lemon coral. But definitely this bed has taken over a totally different look now that we're later in the season. One thing I will point out though is in the background there is the Atlas roses. And the second I stepped onto the bridge there, I got this just amazing waft of rose scent. And that is from those gorgeous Atlas roses. I like the Atlas rose because they will just continue to put on flowers throughout the summer. You can go through and deadhead them, but you don't have to. Although I will say if you do deadhead them, they are quicker to produce more blooms. But these guys are doing good. It looks like there hasn't been a ton of deadheading going on, and the fragrance is just absolutely breathtaking as I'm walking through this part of the garden. So as I continue along, we're starting to see more color. So it might have just been kind of that little corner of the bed where things were really taking over each other. But here the tier purple is definitely showing up more. In the background, we're seeing the Lantana. Not as much though as what we saw earlier. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, there's still a lot of color, but it's not near as colorful as it was at the beginning of this bed. There's also some of the Prince Tut grass in, which is nice. Just they have them poked in every here and there to kind of break up the look of the bed. And I think that looks really cool. In the background there are some of the quick fire hydrangeas, and they were in their prime probably a month ago or so. But I love hydrangeas, how even when they are past their prime, the blooms still look really cool in the garden. If yellow and purple are your colors, this is certainly an area in the garden that is screaming gorgeous shades of yellow and purple. In the background there, the Meteor Showers Verbena, which is excellent for hummingbirds and butterflies specifically. There's also the Salvia over there. That is the unplugged Salvia, just dancing in the breeze. We've got Golden Butterfly Argyratum. And then up front here is the new Supertunia Mini Vista Pink Cloud Petunia. Actually, I'm going to take a picture here of the sign for you so you can see what's in this bed. These are just a few of the things, but what a vibrant use of color to create a mass of beauty in this garden bed. And you can see how those salvia just continue to go throughout the bed. They just jump from location to location, and it's almost, by using that color in blockings, it just keeps you walking and keeps you going through this bed because you want to go see more. You want to go see the next thing in the garden. And the last little pocket of garden we'll show in today's video, they are using the Cleome Blanca, which are these gorgeous white mounds of color you're seeing. They are 3.5, almost 4 foot tall. I'm not sure how many plants they have planted in each grouping. If I had to guess, I'm going to say probably 3 would be a guess. I could be wrong there, but just look at how they're using them and poking them as you're walking through the garden bed. Also, there is the Truffula Pink Gomphrena, which is just a nice airy blow in the breeze plant that the pollinators love. They've got gorgeous Lantana in here. And then the front of the bed is the Mini Vista Plum Veined Supertunia. And you can just see as we walk through this bed how they're kind of grouping things together, and it just continues to draw your eye through as you're walking through the garden. Because this Cleome is just so massive and so gorgeous right now, along with this Truffula Pink and the Lantana, it's kind of taken over the Salvia, which is surprising actually. I love watching the butterflies. They're just dancing through this garden right now. It's an absolute pollinator paradise. Thank you for walking through the gardens with me today. I don't know about you, but this was just a feast of color for the eyes and just a beautiful place to walk around and see all of the gorgeous proven winter annual color. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave it below. And if you're new to our channel, I welcome you to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.